Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nickies. Yeah. OnChain revolution. OnChain. OnChain revolution, Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge, look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy on the channel. We cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the OnChain Hour, and this is going to be absolutely awesome, guys, because yesterday it finally happened. We have our second rune to finally get listed on Kraken, guys, and this is absolutely awesome because Lobo the Wolf Pup is listed on Kraken. I know a lot of you guys are like, why Lobo? This isn't good. You have to remember, Leonidas is a very loyal guy. Buoyant Capital was one of the people who supplied the dog airdrop, right? You got to remember, some people, including, Jeff from Merlin, they helped out with the Runestone airdrop, but then Buoyant Capital came in and they bought the number one Runestone, parent child of the entire Runestones, and they own that over there. So at Buoyant Capital, by doing that, they were able to do the dog airdrop. So when Lobo gets listed, don't get bag hurt, right? Your rune's going to get listed too. Mim's coming, Gizmo's coming, and all the rest of them are coming too. This is something Leonidas did because the Buoyant Capital guys are so awesome. And this is a good thing, guys, because now what is happening right now is Kraken is they want you to deposit your Lobo and sell it, right? Why do they want to do that? Think about that for a second. They want your Lobo cheap. They want your Mim cheap. They want your dog cheap. They want you to keep selling it on Kraken because they're able to store it there. And then in a few months, people come in and they're going to buy it 10 times high. This is how exchanges make money. They list the token when there's not a lot of people wanting it, right? And then when the demand gets higher, they make out like bandits. And if you're selling on these exchanges, you're probably not the smartest person in the room. You're probably not the brightest crown in the box, right? You're probably like brown or orange or something, right? But you want to actually be on the smarter side of things. And how do you be on the smarter side of things? Go to Kraken, buy that cheap Lobo, buy that cheap Mim when it gets launched, buy that cheap Gizmo when it gets launched, right? But this is it. We have an opportunity right now coming in the next couple weeks, couple months. I don't want to say like 3 months because I think you're going to be too late. But I think in the next 10 days, 12 days, 14 days, you have a really, really amazing opportunity to get really cheap assets. I do think that a lot of these runes are going to go on the Kraken and they're probably going to get dumped there, which is a really good opportunity for us to kind of make sure that our bags are packed and our bags are strong. going in to this bull run. And I'm excited, guys, because my bags are packed. I'm excited for what is happening. I'm excited what happened on the Bitcoin ecosystem. I'm excited at what's happening in crypto in general. And I'm excited for today's show. So without further ado, let's get this show started. Bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? How you feeling today, bro?
Feel good. Feel good. Yes, there is a little bit of a pullback with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I think it's nothing to really worry about, right? We are seeing Bitcoin kind of mess around in the 112, high 112s, and Ethereum kind of retracing back to the 3,500. But Ethereum's retrace is a lot stronger in terms of, I guess, holding strength than Bitcoin. So that's a good sign. But I don't think anything really serious to worry about, guys. This is kind of normal. I think maybe for August we go a little bit choppy and then have that uptrend to really have an aggressive finish to the month. September, I'm not so sure, but that is how I feel about August. I'm still bullish about August. You guys know how I feel about it. But for today's show, we're going to get into a lot of things. So make sure you guys share the space, smash that like, do all the subbing stuff. Help us out there, guys. We know you guys are awesome and we love you for it. We're going to get into the Kraken listing of Lobo. I know we just hit on that, or Shizzy did with the intro here. We're going to talk a little bit about why maybe it's not a good idea to kind of sit there and be upset that your Rune community didn't get listed, because we believe that that's going to come. And then Peter Thiel is ramping up. He's getting his hands dirty in our space. The guy's one of the most richest people in America, and he's going to be launching his own centralized exchange. We'll get into that a little bit. And then Goldman Sachs predicting 3 consecutive rate cuts starting in September, and what that could do to kind of finish the year leading into 2026, right? So a lot of other stuff too. We'll talk about Binance futures volumes, what that means, hitting its highest volumes in 2025 last month, and what does that mean for July? Also, a couple other things. There's one token too that you guys know I'm not crazy about, but it could have one of the most hated rallies. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Let's get into this main topic.
Real quick. Okay. So Bitcoin, we got to touch the elephant in the room. Bitcoin is back to 113. Ethereum is back to 3,500. The stock market's dumping a little bit. You have the Dow Jones down 0.3. You have the S&P down 0.5. And then you have the NASDAQ down 0.5 as well. What's going on today? Why do you think that we are headed back in the red after an amazing rally yesterday?
Yeah, so there's some tariff talk about the U.S. possibly, implementing tariffs on India. I just feel like it's really a way for the headlines to keep the prices a little suppressed right now, because we know that like Bitcoin has shown some strength and been able to shoulder through tariff headlines in the past, right? Like when it first started, it wasn't able to, and then it got calloused. And then I guess because we hadn't heard anything for a while, it's been, kind of getting hit. And then you have like the Chinese, the Chinese government saying they're banning Bitcoin and all that stuff. That really didn't do too much. It's more of, I think, like anticipating what are these Indian tariffs are going to look like? What are, the situation from a macro level going to look like? But I think it's something that's short-lived.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm so tired of this tariff stuff. Like honestly, like I don't know why it affects markets so much. It feels like it's just manipulated down. It just gives a reason for the big boys kind of push down.
Yeah, it wasn't for a while. Like I mentioned before, initially it did, gut punched us all. And then for some reason, I don't know if it's because either some manipulation in the market trying to push these headlines and then push the prices down a little bit to get things cheaper. But I think they know that there's going to be a rally coming, and they want to get some things cheaper. They probably also want, to have the open interest on the short side increase to have another squeeze, in my opinion. I don't know. That's what maybe I'm a little too hopeful on that side, but I'm with you. I'm a little tired of this tariff stuff. It's just like it's dangling like a piano over our heads.
Yeah. And it feels like every time this stuff happens, Eric Trump comes out and he's like, buy the dip.
Right?
It's like, hey, Dad, I need to know the dip. Can you talk about tariffs? But yeah, man. But exactly. God, man, take it away.
Yeah, dude. So like, cracking listing Lobo. I think it threw a lot of people off guard because of kind of the marketing rollout by the co-CEO, and really just hammering magic internet money so much, and then starting to kind of trickle in some other runes, and not really implementing Lobo too much in the most recent marketing pushes, right? And so I think there's these runes community bag holders that just got a bit well, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, their feelings were hurt. I should say that. I forget sometimes they're live.
Their back hurt. Yeah.
There we go. But yeah, so but with that being said, I think we got to look at it with the perception of, dude, like Kraken is supporting the Rune's infrastructure when nobody else would. This is the second Rune, and they're obviously doing it one at a time. And so if your community Rune token was one that was pushed in this marketing kind of rollout, I think you're okay. Just kind of sit back and say, okay, we're going to be on deck at some point. Like whether you're $1 billion cat, whether you're Magic Internet Money, whether you're pups and Gizmo, right? Your time is going to come, but they're doing it strategically. That is for sure. That's one thing. But I would like to see more support of what Kraken's done, because they've been supporting us, right? So you gotta show some support. Even might not have been your time this time, but your time's coming if you're one of those major communities, don't you think? I don't know. I'm curious of your opinion.
So 100%. So on this, I've been thinking about this a lot, right? And I was in a space, I want to say about a week and a half ago. It was a space with Scott was on there from Bound and Radfi. Anyway, so at the end of the thing, they were talking to Leonidas, and they said, you're kind of guiding Kraken, right? Because Kraken, what they do is, they're not experts in the space. They find experts in the space, right? So they went to Leonidas, they trust them, and Leonidas is guiding them through this. Like, he might not want to admit this, and this is just me thinking, right? I'm not putting words in his mouth, but Leonidas is guiding them. And Leonidas said, hey, that's what's dog, obviously. And I think Lobo has a very, very strong community. And then, the MIM is probably next, right? So this, to me, I said it in the intro, this is a thank you from Leonidas to the Buoyant Capital guys and getting their token launched. Buoyant Capital has done a lot for the space. They've done a lot for Runes, like them or not. You can say their Twitter is botted. You can say this. You can say that. Doesn't matter. They're the reason why the dog airdrop happened, right? If they didn't come in and buy that runestone, then who knows if Leonidas would have had enough to be able to do the airdrop, right? So this is a thank you to Buoyant Capital. If you don't understand that, you don't get it, and that's fine. That's fine not to get it, but your bags are coming, right? So what Kraken is doing, in my opinion, is they want to buy your assets cheap. I know I said this already, but I'm kind of pushing to that. And they're getting Lobo at like a $10 million market cap. They're smiling. They're high-fiving right now that they're able to list a $10 million token with the community. And Lobo has a community. Don't doubt it. I tweet about Lobo. There's like 15 or 20 blue check marks. I'm not including everyone else without a blue check mark, but 15 or 20 blue check marks that are out there and that are real people and that are connecting with me and connecting with my post, right? So I know that they're out there, and I'm excited for them, right? But like, don't get bag hurt, because MIM's coming next. I'm hearing MIM in the next 3 or 4 days, right? I'm hearing Gizmo potentially the 13th. I'm hearing in the new $1 billion cat the 17th, and then finishing it all off the 21st with pups. So that's every 3 days they're potentially going to be listing. And we did get a comment here. He's tried to buy Lobo on Kraken. It's not available yet. It's going to be there probably in a few hours. But I tried to buy some this morning as well. I just messed around. I had some money on Kraken that I was just like, I'll take a little shot at it. And then so I'm sitting there, and this is all according to plan. This is Leonidas' plan, and Leonidas is, you got to remember, he has a company that's built around runes. Or.io, yes, they were originally like built around ordinals, but now they have become the #1 runes platform right now, in my opinion, to mint and stuff like that. I go there all the time to check out runes and stuff like that. So Leonidas wants the best for runes, and this is his roadmap, in my opinion.
Yeah, so definitely, we want to be, give clarity there. That is the opinion that we have here, right? Leonidas hasn't come to us.
I said it like 3 times. It's my opinion. It's my opinion.
Well, I just want to say that Leonidas hasn't come to us and told us this, but it's pretty obvious, in terms of like, who supported him in the early days, right? And another thing that attracts, in my opinion, Kraken to Lobo is, let's not forget, holder count matters to centralized exchanges, and you're talking about a 59,000 holder count for Lobo.
I forgot about that.
You can't ignore that, right? And so for them, that's a win, because yes, I think it's probably less holders in the West, but that's even better because Kraken's a global company, right? So if a lot of the holders are in South America, Asia, Europe, that doesn't matter as long as there's holders, and to them, holders equals users of the centralized exchange. So that's one of the reasons as well. I think that they looked at them. But let's take a look at the post here. It says the pack is growling. The pack is growing, and this one's got a bite, right? And it says Lobo the Wolf Pup is coming to Kraken on August 5th, which is today. And you guys are saying you can't get it, but it's deposit, right? So deposit, there will be some point in time today that they'll post again that says trading is now live. But today is August 5th, right? So that's going to be coming for sure. But if you had to, guess, I guess, for the next one that would be announced to be listed, what would you say?
This Friday, Magic Internet Money. I think it's pretty consensus is basically saying Magic Area Money is the next one, and I think Gizmo is after that.
Gotcha. Okay, so are you out of the camp that thinks that this, you know, they're gonna do the Friday or in the beginning of the month where they say all these are coming, and that for runes they'll just announce it one by one?
Yeah, I thought that they were going to do that, the roadmap thing, but I think they didn't want to pump the prices of these assets, right? I think they want to they want you to dump your Lobo cheap. That's what it seemed like. Because normally they would. They did it for Merlin Chain, they did it for Dog, right? But what happened after they got the push? The prices went up, and then they had when people were dumping them on the exchange, it was higher. I think they're just kind of like, these are so cheap right now. They're just kind of like, all right, push it through. Little announcement as possible. You got 2 days. You got 2 days. Go. Like, you know what I mean?
And speaking of the prices, right? It was interesting, and that could have been the reason why they didn't incorporate Lobo so much in their last marketing. Was like, hey, we don't want to pump up the price before we actually officially announce it. But what it did was it did kind of pump up the price once they did announce it. And you can see Lobo is leading in terms of price percentage on the daily. It's up 70.2% here. Market cap is back over 10 million, sitting right at 12 million. What's a fair market cap, do you feel like, that this kind of peaks at for this news and then retraces?
I think 30 million is a good place.
Off of this news?
I think this is a big deal. I think this is massive. You got to remember, like, people, they want to get in stuff early as possible, and I think you're going to see a lot of people piling into this with percentages of their portfolio, just trying to get into the Runes ecosystem. I think 30 million in the next 30 days is a fair price. And I say that because, and potentially 40 million. And I say that because of how big Dog is. I think Lobo is probably going to be, 10% of what Dog is. If Dog gets to 400 million, I think Lobo is going to be at 10. I think a lot of these runes are going to be hanging around between 30 and 40% of what Dog is. And eventually Magic Internet Money might get to be that Ethereum to the Dog's Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Being half of what Dog is.
Yeah, I could see possibly that. I mean, Magic Internet Money has such a strong meme lore, as well as community starting to continually grow there. But yeah, so I mean, this is obviously the biggest jump up here. Let's take a look at some of these other runes really quick. Magic Internet Money, I think the speculation is they're next. So that one is up 5.6% on the daily. But then you see Dog, and seeing Dog below 300 million to me is so juicy. But also to some Dog community members that have been holding forever, they're probably like, oh, what the heck is happening with Dog? What would your, breakdown be to them? Like, why is it below 300 million right now?
Because exchanges don't want to buy in high, they want to buy in low. They're pushing the price down. Like, people are putting out some stuff about Gate.io pushing the price down, and it might not be Gate.io doing this. It might be people on other exchanges paying market makers, hey, we want to get Dog cheap, so dump it on. Let's get these prices down, right? I think this accumulation is happening on these runes. I 100% think so. And Kraken wants you to go and dump your Dog on Kraken. They want you to do, because they want to have as much as possible for when the real run starts. This is all good stuff, guys. It really is, because the rich get richer, and this is the way. Retail sells when they shouldn't, and the market makers and people like Kraken, they take on that sell, right? They buy. When you sell on Kraken, they're buying it technically. Right, so they love this, and to me, this is all part of the game. They want to get these assets cheap as possible, and it's not go time, right? Ethereum's at 3,500, right? Ethereum was 3,800 just last week. So you got to remember, Ethereum is that leading indicator for the crypto. So we need Ethereum to hit that 4,000, and then you're going to see huge number, huge price rises. And who's going to make out the best? Well, where you dumped your Dog at on Kraken.
So what if an argument came out and said, well, when you look at Fartcoin, it doesn't see the same kind of retracement? Would you say it's because Fartcoin's already been integrated in a lot of centralized exchanges, and so that it's past that phase already, and Dog hasn't? Or
Fartcoin was $1.60 2 weeks ago, right? So
yeah, but if you try to compare
50%.
But if you're comparing apples to apples in terms of market cap, right? Like, Fartcoin's at $1 billion right now after pulling back a lot, and Dog is at less than 300 million. So for me, my explanation would be that it would be like, okay,
the buy buttons for sure.
Yeah, it hasn't been the buy buttons, and also it hasn't been it hasn't hit the buying cheap phase. You know what I mean? Or Dog is just now hitting that for centralized exchanges, trying to get it cheaper before it explodes. Fartcoin did that before already. They bought cheaper whenever they had an opportunity to buy cheaper, and then it exploded. And so it's basically further down the line. And Dog will get there. It's just evolution of it.
I wouldn't really worry about the number wise, like billions, right? So Farcoin was $4 billion asset at one point, right? Now it's under a billion, right? Just under a billion. So that's still 75% down from all-time high. Dog's about 70% down from its all-time high, right? So to me, it's not about like the actual number itself. And you got to remember too, the Bitcoin ecosystem has 1/8 of the amount of Solana traders. They have 1/8 the amount of liquidity over here, right? Maybe even less than that. And so that's a part of it too. And there's more buy buttons, and people are really comfortable using Phantom. When you buy dog on Bitcoin, it takes a really long time, right? You have to, it could take up to 30 minutes before you get your buy on. So that's there too. But you're going to see dog being on a lot of different exchanges, and a lot of different people going to come into it. You have some of the biggest influencers that are pushing it, right? You have Dan from Cardano, you have Leonidas. I'm not worried at all. This is just a great opportunity for a lot of people. Like I said, the smart money does not buy rips; they buy dips. They're eating this up right now. And you just ain't seeing it as well. But you are seeing it. $10 million on Kraken volume already for dog.
I mean,
insane.
that is pretty. Yeah, that's pretty significant. But the Kraken integration is supposed to change that, the buy buttons and stuff like that. So we should see at some point, dog hit hyper, price action to the upside.
We need a leading indicator to go off though. That's Ethereum.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Let's wrap this up on the Rune side. So overall, you're obviously bullish of the Lobo
Super
listing,
bullish.
and the ecosystem community probably shouldn't worry too much about their token as long as it's one of the stronger ones, right?
Yeah, and just so you guys know, I hold Lobo, I hold Mim, I hold Pups, I hold Gizmo, I hold BIP and stuff that I have dog, right? I have all these runes. So if you're thinking that maybe maybe I'm thinking with my bags, right? Which definitely could be possible, but I wouldn't be so far deep in this if I truly believe in what Leonidas and what the runes ecosystem is building.
Absolutely. And they've been around forever, and they've gone through a lot of hard times. So you have to remember, like, Kraken's just the first bit of like true success. And I think other centralized exchanges come down the line. But let's move on here and get into the other parts of the main topic here. Peter Thiel, $629 million IPO raise for his centralized exchange called Bullish. Are you bullish that Peter Thiel is getting his hands kind of dirty in our space, because he's like one of the mastermind geniuses in Silicon Valley in terms of investments and stuff to be able to become very, very rich? But that means the rich gets richer. How do you feel about this?
Everything Peter Thiel touches goes to gold, right? So he's in Pump Fund, like he was an early investor in that. He's an early investor in OpenSea. He's an early investor in a lot. You'll be shocked sometimes. You go through some of these bigger companies in crypto, like Peter Thiel's on the books, right? One thing I hate about this exchange is I can't use it because I'm an American citizen. That makes me so angry. Like, I'm not going to tell you how angry that makes me feel when I go to the site and try to sign up and it says due to your location, and I got to put my VPN on, and then you have to KYC on it, so I can't even use it regardless if my VPN's on or not, right? Because you have to full duplicate KYC, and you have to give your ID. And once I show that I'm from Philadelphia, they're like, nah, bro, you can't use our exchange. So it's kind of like I just, until they take away that, I give them a big FU. Screw you, Peter Thiel. Screw you, Bullish.
Why would he do that though? Because Coinbase is obviously everybody can use here. Why would Peter Thiel not include the U.S. demographic in being able to use his platform?
So they're not ready for the audit. They're not ready for like whatever they're doing. In my opinion, they're not ready. They're getting their paperwork done. They're getting all that stuff done. And I think that I think it will be open to the U.S. citizens. But I think Peter Thiel is somebody who has many lawyers, and they're probably sitting there and they're making sure, hey, we don't have proof of reserves. We need to get this up and running. We need to make this online. We need to make this checkable. So I think they're getting everything ready for that. But until then, I would never use this exchange. I love Kraken, honestly. If I use any centralized exchange, I'm using Kraken.
You are a person that tends to be loyal to people that do good for something you're involved with, and stuff like that.
Early too. Yeah.
And like I've been kind of beating this drum about Kraken having such an opportunity to be that standout centralized exchange this cycle. We'll see if they continue down that road, because I do think that they have that opportunity to really appeal to all age demographics too. I mean, they can appeal to the Zoomers, to the Boomers, to the middle, millennials, all that stuff. So, all right, so but overall, you're bullish on this because they're giving a 4.2 valuation as well for their their IPO. Do you think this is good for the overall space, though? Maybe not for
This is
yourself, but what?
amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. Peter Thiel and his group of investors and stuff like that. Because Peter Thiel, he's not sitting there doing it himself, right? He has a group of investors underneath him that are actually finding good projects and saying this is the one. And he's just saying, make my money grow, guys. Make my money grow. He might sit on like a board meeting. He's probably on the board of some of these companies, and he's making sure that his voice is heard when he wants changes and stuff like that. This is good for the space because Peter Thiel is somebody who knows how to bring the internet. He was an early investor in Facebook and a lot of other places as well. He knows how to take little companies in small sectors and create bigger sectors and make them the number one company in that sector. So I'm really bullish on this, but I just needed to be open to American citizens ASAP.
Yeah, I haven't even checked out the site. I need to look into it. Does it look pretty clean?
It's really clean. I love the black and white. I mean, me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of expect that from him because he is that Silicon Valley mogul, and that's how Silicon Valley is. Minimalistic. It works well and good user experience. So
100%.
Cool. All right. So the next thing here is Goldman Sachs expects the Fed to start 3 consecutive 25 bips rate cuts starting in September. So basically September, I'm not sure if there's one in October and November. I think maybe 1 month is skipped. I'm not sure. But three consecutive ones.
Are you on Polymarkets?
Yeah, I do have that.
It should say it at the top left. Go to the top there. Yeah, see, okay, so it's just October it's showing. So I don't know if there is one in November. You see where it's September 17th?
Oh, right here. Okay, yeah. So at least we know that a consecutive one would follow in October, but maybe December is skips 1 month.
Yeah,
but
I think you're right.
If we get that, does that help? Because markets are forward looking. Does that help escalate like this possibility for this alt season that we've been looking for? Because you can throw the ETF approvals on top of that, plus these kind of SPAC raises, plus these rate cuts that are consecutive. I mean, it could get crazy.
You missed one big one there. ETFs.
Yeah. I think I said that.
Oh,
the ETF approvals. Okay. Yeah, ETF approvals plus SPAC raises, and I don't think people understand the SPAC raise part, man. Like I think that hit me yesterday when we had Jeff on, and like you're talking about like even the smaller, crypto companies that have a token that might be like 30 million, 50 million, but they're up and coming. They could raise $80 million, buy back their token or whatever. And just everybody does that. They pump the price up. And if markets are forward looking and we get 3 consecutive rate cuts, like how could there not be just this crazy environment to end the year?
Yeah, 100%. I think we're about to get our first leg up. I think we're going to get and it's going to be massive. It's going to really get people shaking in their boots to where we get like a lot of FOMO buying. I think FOMO buying is going to happen in around. I think it's going to happen around that October 29th, right? That's the rate cut after September. I think we're going to get a 50 basis point cut.
Ooh, you think so?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen in October. I think I think we get a small one in September and then a 50 in October. And I think what that's going to do, that's going to just set everything up going into next year. I do think we get a heavy sell-off in November, and a lot of people are going to be saying that's the top, right? And I think we're going to have a little bit build up like going towards Christmas and after Christmas, and then January is going to be a flat out insanity month for a lot of altcoins. So I do think you're going to see Bitcoin start to move here within the next, I want to say about 13, 14 days. And then I see Ethereum getting back to its all-time high the first week of September. And then I think that it's going to be insane for XRP, Cardano, and a lot of these other coins really being pushed up into October, to the late version of October. Maybe we get a buy the rumor, sell the news in October 29th. And then we potentially have like a sell-off in November, and then another pop in December, January.
So you're thinking towards kind of maybe the second half of November is whenever things start to sell off, leading into like the first half of December, and then the second half of December leading into the New Year's, maybe things get bullish again.
I think a lot of the people who are 4-year cycle people are gonna be like, that's the top, guys. This is it. That's the top, and you're gonna have them get out. And I think that's going to push a lot of the momentum down, a lot of shorting happening. And then I think what's going to happen is a giant short squeeze comes in from someone they wasn't expecting, and it fires it back up.
Yeah. One thing, though, also, I think it's very important to just take notice to is the global M2 money supply. We got to make sure that doesn't like curl up. Yeah, so I don't have that ready, but you know, the last time we looked at it was I think on Friday. It said that it had stalled a little bit, and you know, but we're 10 weeks behind, right? So the projected date or area that would kind of have a stall, I think, was like late November. So it kind of makes sense to what you were saying. But we'll see if that happens. But if you look here on Polymarket, you can see, you know, the percentage of a rate cut happening in September has moved up to 82%. So this was like 77 on Friday, I believe, when the last time we checked. What was the highest that you saw up until this 82%? Like it has, I think it got to 60% once, and it just completely tanked because something happened with Powell or jobs or something.
Those the jobs number. Remember, I was so pissed off when
Yeah,
it came in. It was like 67, 68. And then the like 1 hour later it was like 44. And I was like, what the hell happened? Like, no, like I was so angry. And then it just got lower and lower. It got all the way down to like 40. And then the revision came in, and it's insane that we can just have these revisions and they move things so much strength back to the other side. I mean, it's absolutely insane to me that a revision can push it. I mean, we went from 40, the last week of July, to 80 the first week of August. I mean, it's insanity, and it's exciting. It's exciting times. I think we're about to live in the next couple months.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that doesn't we don't run into something again like that, right? That would really suck, in my opinion. But I feel like there's just so much momentum, and right now I feel like there's just this smoke and mirrors with, you know, bringing Bitcoin's price down a little bit here, and you know, gut punching Ethereum a little bit. And I think it's going to throw a lot of people off because they're going to think, oh, we're going into this bearish season, which I think is just, you know, even this correction I still feel like is healthy, right? That we're, or like this pullback that we're seeing, but we shall see. All right, so this one's big, and it's about a company we talk a lot about and we have a lot of confidence in, even though they don't show a lot of what they have in their books, but they just continually buy more Bitcoin and bonds. But 40% of all on-chain fees are now paid in USDT. And when you told me about this, you know, it really blew my mind because I didn't know that this was even really much of an option at the current time, right? I was like, where's this happening? And you told me, right, basically, like, you know, MetaMask has this built into their protocol and you know, on Ethereum and stuff like that. So you can pay basically with USDT, and it will basically do the exchange on your behalf. So if you're out of Ethereum, then you don't have to worry. No longer do you have to worry about the days to where you had no Ethereum to complete a transaction, because if you have a USDT, you're fine. Is that correct?
Yeah, 100%. So how it works is I ran it through ChatGPT, and this is what ChatGPT gave me. When users pay gas in USDT, the chain or relayer partner service automatically swaps the USDT for the native gas token like Ethereum or Sol or Tron or wherever, right, behind the scenes. So what is happening is, let's just say you don't have, and it's not, you can't just use any meme coin or something like that. It needs to be like USDT, USDC, or one of the top stable coins, or Ethereum, right? But what happens if you have Ethereum in your wallet and you go through the swap without you even realizing it, and it's going to come up in the MetaMask area. It's going to say what exactly is going on with your USDT and everything, but you're paying that 60 cents gas fee or 1 penny gas fee on Solana in USDT. So what is happening is when I send $1,000 USDT, I might be sending 1,060 cents to pay for that Ethereum gas fee, right? So most gas fees right now, 40% of them are getting paid in USDT, because we're realizing stable coins, for whatever reason, are just moving around on chain, and they're causing a lot of volume, and a lot of the fees are getting paid in USDT, which is actually being routed through something like Uniswap or something, and it's actually paying the chain the thing. This is exactly what we need. We got to get away from the gas fee. I mean, we can get to the point we can have a fee, but having a gas fee and paid in that token, I think is that's long gone. I think you're gonna be able to pay the gas fee in anything and have it rerouted and then paid to the chain.
So what about the people that say, is this bad for the native gas token? Using USDT.
You're still buying the gas token,
Yeah,
because it's just being routed, right? This is good, and this is good for people who have Ethereum USDT in LP pools, because you're getting that fee, right? That's where
Oh,
that
because
comes
yeah,
at.
because that's true. Because like the LP trading fee that you earn now probably go up because
Yeah.
depending on and here's the thing is that more people are gonna probably hold USDT than they would Ethereum in their wallets if
Mhm.
it becomes more of a societal thing to where stable coins are used all the time, right?
Yep.
In which we all believe that's going to be the case. So this actually, I think the people that are, do have an ETH USDT pool, which sounds pretty safe to me in
Mhm.
general, is going to continually earn here. So this is probably something too that like some of these banks are probably looking at and saying, "Hey, this is great. We want more of this, but can you do it with USDC now?"
It's like 6-7% APY on ETH USDT, and that's like a risk-free pool. If you go to some of these riskier ones, potentially you can get 8, 9, 11% on ETH USDT, right? I mean, that's the safest pool you can be in besides like USDT, USDC.
Do you think that this is becomes more popular? Do you think people
Oh
will
yeah.
like they're just going to be like, I'll just hold stable because I can just use it for gas, whatever I need?
100%. I think you're gonna see wallets now with, all stable because eventually what the Genius Act does, and people don't really realize is I'm gonna be able to go to Walmart and pay in stablecoin, right? I'm gonna be able to go to these pay on Apple with stablecoin. We gotta pay my mortgage in stablecoin. Like it's happening. It's gonna come in the next couple months. They're getting the rails started. So like if my mortgage is coming up, I might hold, $2,000-3,000 in stables, getting ready to pay that mortgage. And when that day comes, I send it in, right? Instead of having to send it to my bank. And think about it this way: instead of holding money in your bank, you just hold it on chain.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's the idea too in the future, right? Is that these wallets are going to be like bank accounts as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. But I got a couple more things before we get into the crypto fear and greed here. This thing's real quick, and I wish I would have hit on this earlier when we were talking about runes, but like Magic Eden, and thanks to Patapoo, man, you gave me this idea here to put this in. But Magic Eden season 2 of rewards is coming. Now, we have kind of anticipated this with the Magic Eden Reward Season 1. It did not play out that way. We were like, is it going to spark like an Ordinals and Runes run because Magic Eden's so heavily involved? And it was actually the opposite. The Ordinals and Runes almost went down. And
Yeah,
so
they did.
in this case, because Kraken has bullishness around runes and people's confidence are picking up, could it finally play out to be like a stimulus type of check towards runes and ordinals? Or again, are you expecting it? It's kind of like, show me, homie kind of situation.
So for me, this is what I've been waiting for to kind of get into the Magic Eden token. I've been waiting for season 2 to be over. I'm waiting for this airdrop because during this airdrop, if we can get Magic Eden down to 50 cents, right now it's about 73 cents. If we get Magic Eden down to 50 cents, I might sell some assets and buy Magic Eden token. I'm very bullish on Magic Eden.
Ooh.
I think Magic Eden is probably one of the biggest winners of this cycle. And but I think it's late in the second half of the cycle. I think it's January and February. So I want to begin accumulating during this airdrop. So to answer your question, I don't think it's going to stimulate the runes ecosystem. I'm actually getting a nice fat airdrop again, which is ridiculous because I staked 1,000 of the 15,000 airdrop that I've gotten, and I've gotten already like probably like 5 or 6, maybe more than
Dude,
that.
that was
7x
such a
10,000.
like a cheat code if you did that.
That was that was me just being like 4 years, lock it up. Here's 1,000. I mean,
Yeah.
I got a ton, right? So it was one of the smartest things that I've done. So I'm getting another nice fat airdrop. And I traded runes a lot too. So I have all my wallets connected, and I'm gonna get because I probably have like a good amount of volume as well on Magic Eden and through Set's terminal, right? Because when I was buying on Set's terminal and being bought, it's actually being bought through Magic Eden, right? A lot of the times, being the place to route it. So I've been doing that a lot too, making sure that it's being routed through Magic Eden, so I get those points, double points, Set's terminal points and Magic Eden points. So I've been doing that with my runes buys, and so yes, I'm getting another fat airdrop, but I'm holding this one. I might even stake it again, for like if it's chizzy proof it, lock it up for 6 months.
Yeah. So in your mind, it's not going to spark runes or anything like that. People are looking at this more as probably either holding it or just, yeah, I guess holding it to see if it goes up. The thing is that airdrops typically, people can't hold these days, and so a lot of people are going to cheat. I feel like, the airdrop.
That's what I'm saying. 50 cents, baby. Right now, it's
Yeah, but
73.
where are they going to cheat it into? Are they going to cheat it into runes? Are they going to cheat it into Solana stuff? Because I think we forget that Magic Eden actually has a lot of strong connections to the Solana ecosystem too. That's where they started.
I think people are a little wary. I think a lot of people are broke too, right? So I'm thinking a lot of people are going to do something
Paying
kind of
bills.
stupid here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe take some money out. It's vacation season as well, right? So it's like I just don't see. I mean, I hope so. I hold a lot of rooms. That'd be amazing, right? So I'm not saying that, but I don't. I think this is a nothing burger in the sense of being a stimulus for rooms. I wish it was, and like I said, I think selling the Magic Eden after this airdrop is stupid. I'm hoping to buy your bags. If he gets the 50 cents, dude, I mean, just throw $1,000 in there. I think that $1,000 could be $7, $8, $10,000. Who knows, right? So
And people aren't thinking, and this just came up in my mind because we've been talking about the past 2 days, is that like Magic Eden could have a company that decides to start a SPAC with them, and right,
sure.
you could actually raise pretty high for Magic Eden. I feel like you could raise like 200 million or something like that to buy back the token, and if that happens, then that token's going to shoot up. And
Yep.
like I know that like I'm jumping the gun a little bit with the SPAC thing, but it just gets me like excited like a little kid because I'm just thinking about what waterfall effect that could have.
Mhm.
And that could be that meta that brings retail in because it's been hard to drag them back in, but that could be it. Whenever all the prices are going up for small micro caps and new mid caps and stuff like that, that's what gets them in, guys. Ethereum starts it, but then all these other opportunities that people don't want to miss, like the regular everyday people, that's what gets them in. So we shall see if that's the case.
And real quick though, beyond that though, when I watch stuff like the Daily Bone podcast, when I watch stuff like anything that anyone that shows NFTs, they show them on Magic Eden. Magic Eden is one of the few companies that have really good revenue, right? What happens with companies with really good revenue? They eventually start buying back that token, right? And I think Magic Eden is going to start aggressively after the season 2 airdrop, buying back that token, and I think that's going to really kind of push it up. NFTs are going to be a huge thing. You're seeing Courtyard, right? There's more NFTs being traded on Magic Eden than there is the Courtyard because Courtyard has that fee. Magic Eden doesn't really have that big of a fee, so that's why you're seeing a lot of people go
They're still
off
making
of
money though.
these places. Courtyard's making but they're not making money off their marketplace. They're making money off you buying the vending machine.
Eventually, the marketplace
right?
will catch up, though.
It's stupid though to buy and sell over there because of
Yeah.
fee. Like, why
I think it's going to be more.
over to
It'll be more
Eden?
normies. I think that like end up using their platform because they don't know. But stuff
Well,
like
that's
people
why
like
when
us,
you sign up with Privy, you're stuck there. Right? There is no going to Magic Eden and stuff, right? So you're right. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but no, those are great points, man. Those are great points. And I am going to get into that token that I think is going to probably have one of the most hated rallies. And I'm going to hate the rally, even though I'm going to take advantage of it. But I'll get into that after the Artura thing. So just, hopefully you guys will hang around for that because I think it's going to be important to go over because I'm not someone that's stubborn. I might not like, organization, or you guys probably are going to be able to guess now. But if there's an opportunity, there's an opportunity. That's how I view it. I have a capitalist type of mindset. And so we will go over that after Artura's segment at 12 p.m. Eastern. But for now, we're going to play a little bit of Crypto Fear and Greed. So let me pull that up. Don't look down. But let's take a guess here. So yesterday we were sitting at a neutral score of 52. Last week we were at 63. Where are we today? And today is yesterday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So you got to think about what was the sentiment like last night?
Well, I said 54 yesterday. I'm going to roll with 54 again.
Okay. Yeah, I think you were definitely a lot closer today than yesterday. So it's 55. Yeah. So definitely give that to you. So as you can see,
I'll take it, bro. 54. Yeah. 50, I'll take it.
So you feel this then? If you guess this, you feel like this is where we should be and where we are.
Just because Ethereum was 37,000 yesterday, and I think it was building momentum, and then got smacked down. That's kind of why I feel that way. I don't look at Bitcoin's price no more. I love Bitcoin. I think it's going to go to millions of dollars. Ethereum's that leading indicator for me right now. If Ethereum crosses that 40,000, that 4,000, I think that's going to really, really be the momentum swing that we need. Until that happens, we're going to be in the 50s and 60s on here.
Yeah, and that's a good point about Ethereum. Once it does cross the 4,000, I think that 4,100, that 4,120 or whatever you said it was, 4,160 that everybody has in their mind, that's the big number. It's not necessarily 4,000. I think that 4,160, if we could pass that, I feel like we pass it and we hang around like 41 to like 43, 44, and then we pull back in September. I think so I'm different than you. I think we actually have like a strong finish to August, beginning of September. I think we have a pullback, even though markets are forward looking. I know that, but I think what happens is we have a pullback in the beginning of September, and then we get the rate cut, and then we go into October looking strong, because now I think the expectation is multiple rate cuts. But I could be wrong. You could be right.
Well,
You could be wrong.
I think your
right.
scenario happens if the CPI comes in higher than expected. I think your scenario is dead on if the CPI number in that first or second week of September comes in a little high.
Yeah. We shall say what that could also make them not want to cut rates in September, though. So that could suck.
Well, we get one next week, right, for August, but I don't think it's really going to make a huge difference, because the one in September is the one that really is going to matter, because that's right before the meeting.
For sure, for sure. All right, guys, we're gonna get into the Bitcoin price action, but before we do this, guys, first of all, it's brought to you guys by Artura.finance, which is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to trade fungible synthetic Bitcoin tokens like Doggo to the Moon and other runes, and possibly some BRC20s, Alkanes possibly as well. If the demand is there, the team said they will provide for the community. Also, you're going to be able to trade derivatives of like TradFi assets, strategy, coin. It's going to be super exciting, guys. We're going to have these guys on in about 15 minutes just to kind of, hang out, talk about markets, talk about what their expectation is for the platform as well. But make sure you guys go over to Artura.finance and check them out. You can earn points right now by just being on their platform. You can earn the most points by adding liquidity to their vaults as well, and earn double points because they're on Botanics, the spider chain. You can earn points from the Botanic side as well. But before we get into the Bitcoin price action, help us out on the YouTube side. Smash that like, subscribe to the channel. You guys should already be subscribed, but if you're not, make sure you do that. Also, on the X side, smash that like, share this space. The abstract side as well. Thank you guys so much for helping us out. Let's get into some Bitcoin price action here, starting with the hour chart. Let's bring it up. All right, man. Bitcoin is not looking good right now. I'll tell you that. It looks pretty bloody. I'm just going to be honest. And one of the things that I absolutely hate is whenever you feel like you're in a good setup, like right here. I mean, look at this, dude. Like you got the fast line crossing the slow line right here. It looks exhausted. Well, actually, no. So if you play this right, then you would have saved yourself, because there wasn't an official cross on the fast line to the slow line on the MACD. So that could have saved you. That could have saved you. You can see it got very close. It almost touched, and then it reversed. So that's an important thing. I need to pay more attention to as well. But man, what a sell down this was. So, to me, I do think this is more smoke and mirrors. They're utilizing the tariff stuff to kind of really bring the price down. But again, we're still at the 113, pretty much the 113 mark here. Let's see what happens in terms of support and resistance, because we can see that the indicators are showing us it wants to bleed more. Man, it's not looking good at the levels we're at right now. This data is going back to 3 a.m. today. And I mean, look at where we are, man. We're right here at or this right here just looks horrible. You're just getting beat down. The price that we're at is 112,800, but man, like zero support right here. But luckily, these areas where support is getting dominated, there's not a ton of volume here. So if we do have some big bids, we can push up through there if we get back there, but it's not looking good for the hour chart. I'll tell you that, right? We are showing some support right here, but not a ton of volume either. So if there's some big sell bids that come in, it can continually push it down. So we definitely need some buy bids to come in here to kind of get us back to some support levels with volume. And right above that, there's volume here, but it's the resistance that's dominating this 112,830 mark, and above that kind of resistance is just dominating here. So we got to let this bleed out. Let's see what happens. Honestly, I can't tell you, other than it possibly will bleed out further down, because that's, if I'm trying to make an educated guess based on what the indicators are telling me, it is telling me that it wants to bleed down further. So we could see 112, 111.5 on the Bitcoin side. This is the Bitcoin side. Let's take a look here on the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart is going to look bad too, guys. Just a heads up. Oh, it doesn't look as bad. So if we're able to pull up out of here a little bit, but I will say that this looks like it wants to head down though. You can see that this fast line wants to head down. It looks like it's about to do the cross on the orange line, and you're seeing the buy pressure just really start to exhaust. It's heading down to oversold territory. man, it just looks like not good here so far. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say except for just to be brutally honest to you guys. But again, we have seen Bitcoin be able to withstand some of these, beat downs. It doesn't last long in those areas. I think like if we were to go even 8 months ago, maybe like 7 months ago, 6 months ago, we would feel like this is so bloody, this is so horrible, but it just doesn't feel the same way. You know what I mean? Because I feel like Bitcoin has been able to just get through these punches and these beat downs pretty successfully. So it's what I'm saying by that, it doesn't hang out down in these areas, these levels too long. So what I mean by that is that like I'm expecting Bitcoin to get back to 114, 115 before the weekend. Maybe I'm just too bullish because of what we've seen in July and June, but we'll see how that plays out. So the 4 hour is definitely playing off of the 1 hour. So if the 1 hour continually bleeds out, expect sell pressure to start here in the next couple 4 hour candles. So the next 4 to 8 hours. The daily looks pretty bad. Not horrible, but it looked like we were going to come out of here, but now it looks like it's reversing. So Bitcoin could start a descent here. We are still in that channel, the 50-day EMA. We got out of it yesterday, but it looks like we're back in here. I'm really hoping for just kind of a chop here a little bit. Maybe we poke back out, but we shall see. The sell pressure on the daily started technically. I'll say this is the MACD candle that started. So Wednesday, July 25th is really what I'm seeing here. So we're talking about 11, 12 days. So we'll see. I'm hoping really for some chop, and then we bounce back out of the 50-day EMA. But that is what I see on the daily chart here. Let's take a look really quick on the weekly. Weekly chart's going to be interesting as well because we've been hanging on in the weekly, for the weekly chart here. I always compare the time frame that we're in starting on April 25th or April 7th of this year to that period in 2023. Right, late 2023. It looked like it was starting off very similar. You had multiple like green candles in this uptrend, some sideways, and then another session of green candles up. We had that first one up here, some sideways, and it looked like we were going to do the same thing up here, but now it's starting to differentiate itself from this pattern here. We're starting to go sideways again. So what does this look like? Do we go sideways with a little bit down and then pop up? I can't tell you guys right now, obviously, but it has been strong. So we'll see, because there's been multiple times where it looked like it was going to close up here on the MACD and we're going to finish this buy pressure session. So I wouldn't be shocked if we open back up, but right now it doesn't look too great. Again, August in the bull run years, 2021, 2017 has been green. Can we continue that in 2025? I don't know. I truly feel like we do, but right now it's not looking great. But again, sometimes in the very beginning of months, it doesn't look great and it turns around in the middle. And so that's what I'm hoping for here. Let's take a look at Ethereum on the daily chart. Ethereum on the daily chart does not look great either. It looks like it's kind of trying to reverse trend here. We'll see. If you look here on the daily, it doesn't really just last only for like just a little kind of like one. This is probably the closest thing you can see, like one time going into oversold and then coming out of it. A lot of times you'll see like a double dip into it or hanging out here. So but what does that look like? Does that look like kind of ranging between 34 and 37? Yeah, possibly. So maybe we poke our head up here and then come back down one more time, and then we exit in the middle of August. We shall see. But I think we're okay there too. But yeah, so that is what Bitcoin and Ethereum are telling us right now. Let's take a look at the crypto bubbles. We don't have to spend too much time on this, but
red.
Yeah, it's just red. We're seeing like a 90% to 10 ratio here, but this one right here is up. Pump is up 6.7%. So that's interesting. You see Litecoin. And Litecoin posted and said, what does Litecoin do, or something like that. I thought that was interesting. Could you ever be bullish on Litecoin, or what would make you bullish on Litecoin?
I'm just going to say no. I don't know. I just would never buy it. I would never buy it. Well, I like new and shiny stuff.
Would you ever buy XRP?
No, too high of a market cap. Not okay. X's.
Okay. But you did change your sentiment on XRP because of what they've been doing the past 6 months or past 8 months or year maybe. And
I would buy
it's
a DeFi protocol
on
on
XRP.
XRP EVM. Yeah.
So Litecoin could do something to change your mind, but it would take a lot. Like XRP took a lot to change your sentiment on them.
So unless Arch or someone like Arch starts to build something on Litecoin where it finalizes the transactions over there, there's no reason for me to,
But
use it.
so if Arch has a lot of success, why wouldn't Litecoin Foundation try to do something like that?
They should. They should 100%.
Yeah.
I would, if that was the case, and they build a an EVM or SVM model, and then the transactions finalized on Litecoin. Hell yeah, I think there would be a lot of opportunity. But again, I wouldn't invest in Litecoin itself. I would invest in the projects that are building there.
Yep. I'm only talking about them because they're green here. They're not very,
100%.
they're not green very often, or I just don't know. So really quick though, because we got to do roll call. Crypto.com down 2.9%, Bonk down 8.1%, Hex down 6.6%, while Hex was been up a lot. Let's take a look at the top 200 because I do want to check Dog. I like to check Dog every day because even though
bad,
it's down 6.6% here,
Yeah.
but I mean nothing's really green, guys. Look, today's just going to be a red day, and I think we got to accept that, and it's okay though. We've had a lot of green days. I think green days come back, but not the band, but the actual green day. Green days for the bubbles here. We'll see better days. Today's a day we just got to probably take a deep breath, go to the gym, go do some other stuff.
Wake me up when September ends.
There we go. Except for we're gonna have a good part of August. I'm very strong.
Well, if you go to sleep now, wake up in September and October, you can be really happy.
True. But that is it for the Bitcoin price action and alt market for you guys, and we'll pass it over to Shizzy for the roll call.
Yeah, let's do it, guys. Let's jump into the comments here on the show. We do first is first. And that first comment of the day is my man, Webdro. Congratulations to you, my friend. That is win number 41. And I can't show it on my screen because I do not have my second screen right now. But you have win number 41. Congratulations to you. Hydrosapien won yesterday and Matt's won on Friday. So it's really looking really cool. But congratulations, man. You're one step closer to that Bitcoin frog. Absolutely awesome. Webster says, was wondering why the Lobo pump. Yeah, man, the Kraken listing. Strong. Tim Baker says, Webdro, OnePlus ad is here. Shout out to OnePlus ad. I got Hydrosapien, my guy. Appreciate you every single day. Followed up by Lackey Lukey is here. Shout out to Lackey Lukey. Right there, right behind Webdro. It's going to be a race to the end there. 100% believe that. Sats, Dom, the legend himself. Appreciate you being here every single day. Merlin's Lucky is here. Shout out to Merlin's Lucky. Cash Cats with the coffee and the donut and the dog go to the moon. Shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate you as always. He says, wish I could stay, but I have a slave wagey. Hit the like. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you hopping in here, buddy. Katie Ennis here. Shout out to Katie Ennis, GM Coffee. Let's go, Alkanes. Yes, sir. I'm bullish on Alkanes. I'm bullish on the building that is happening on Alkanes. There's no meme coin there that I'm interested in or hold, but I'm definitely looking into the projects that are building there because I think something really cool is going to get built there. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I feel like Alkanes is more of a competitor. Well, I will say BRC20 2.0 is trying to be more of a competitor to Alkanes than Runes. I actually feel like Runes is their own thing now, and Alkanes is in the head. I feel like they have the head start. They have the support. So it's basically on BRC 2.0 to prove everybody else we're better than you, and it's going to be a tough task.
I'm going to force you to pick a winner right now. Alkanes or BRC 22. I'll go first. I think Alkanes.
I already knew your answer. I mean, come on. But yeah,
I hate BRC 20. I hate them. I don't know why.
But if I were to pick right now, like just statistics, because I love analytics, you know me, I would have to go with Alkanes. I mean, the probability is in their favor.
The swap's already available. You can just swap right now. So it's pretty cool. Glasshopper is here. Shout out to Glasshopper. Chief Axel is here. Shout out to Chief Axel, my guy. Patty Poo is here. The legend himself, the Bitcoin machine himself is here. Shout out to you, my friend. Carl G said, just tried to buy some Lobo and Kraken. No luck yet. It should be available, I'm hearing, probably within the next hour or so. So keep trying there. It's something that they're probably just making sure everything's good, dotting their I's, crossing their T's, or, dotting your T's, crossing your I's, whatever you want to say. But Toast is here. Shout out to my guy, Toast. We're about to have Artura on here a little bit. Toast is a big part of that Artura community. Shout out to you, my friend. Patty Poo again. He says, Magic Eden Season 2. Yes, 100%. We hit on that already. 100%, dude. Myself is here. Says Loboverse, Ordinals to pump next. I'm not bullish on the Billy Cats is probably the only one.
You're not bullish on Ordinals, bro?
Well, not yet. I think Runes pump first heavily, and then I think it's time to start circling back into Ordinals. That's just my opinion.
Are you gonna play into that rotation though?
I like runes, man. I don't know. I don't want to dump my runes until next year. So maybe I'll take a little piece. Maybe I'll if my MIM shoots up like 4 or 5x, maybe buy a buy something cool. Just kind of maybe change my PFP to a node monkey.
Well, I know you that like once you get into like runes and you see the opportunities there, you're gonna take advantage of it because you did it before. But like the problem is like how long will it last? Because that's the thing is that fungibles are just more easy to be confident in because they can have more longevity in their run versus like NFTs and ordinals. But I do think that there's going to be a massive opportunity with them.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Chode is here, says Kraken should list BDC. I think it happens this month for sure, buddy. I really do. Myself says if a whale missed out on the fair distribution because they weren't participating early, the only way you can accumulate cheaply is to press the market prices via bot order spamming. I think that's what's happening on Gate.io, right? People are blaming Gate.io for this, but I don't think it's them. I think it's people that are trying to suppress the price to get it cheaper.
Yeah, but they've been doing it for so long. And to be honest, like Dog was probably one of the best tokens to trade because it's never going to go away. It's not going to die. So 100%. At the very worst case scenario, when everything was really crappy, it was at like $170 million market cap. At like the best case, it was like close to $1 billion. So if you can trade that well during like before alt season, why wouldn't you? And you're a whale, you know what I mean? So that's what a lot of these people are doing, guys. And it sucks for the people that have been holding their bags. But if you've been buying into these type of tokens anyways, you've been buying them for the big dance anyways, right? And the big dance 100%. Isn't here yet. So
100%. Yeah, couldn't agree more. No is here. Shout the No. Stan says when channel meme coin drop. Might be talking about that a little later.
Some alpha.
Fatty Food's here. So I maxed 5,000 ME. Wow, dude, you're probably sitting on it, bro. I only staked
Patty Poo.
1,000. Patty Poo's a legend. Stan says, wow, Magic Eden's all-time high was 17. Yeah, but that was just a snipe job. I wouldn't look into that too much. But I think it's possible.
You remember those days though? It's like, dude, this is gonna do a hyperliquid.
I know. So stupid. It is what it is. Paulie says the cycle is a bit different. Meme coins ran first, Bitcoin second, now ETH. All coins just don't product market fit. Bear market is a lot closer than you think. I don't think, Paulie. I don't think so. I'm actually curious what Marion thinks. We're going to ask him in a few minutes, but I think you're dead wrong there, buddy. You're going to be on the sidelines where everyone else is getting rich. Just saying. Kraken, Stan says Kraken's appetite for runes makes me super bullish. Yeah, dude. And they want you to come in there and sell them. They want you to sell your runes on Kraken so they can sell it to someone else later for 10x. Stan says I will be bullish until the current administration exits. 100%. This administration is absolutely legendary right now with crypto. Patty Poo says Bull Moon starts this Friday. Weekend rip. Do you take that in effect? I'm curious. Marion thinks so. What do you take that in effect at all? The Bull Moons.
I want to message Erin and ask her because she's the expert on it. I mean, she's been right about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I'm gonna be paying attention this weekend for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Finishing off here, Luna would repost. Thank you so much. A lot of comments today. Really appreciate you guys so much. We got 652 people in here. That's just on YouTube, X, and Twitch. Absolutely awesome, guys. You guys all for hanging out. Dude, we got 440 on X right now. Shout out to all you guys over on X. Absolutely legendary. But every week, guys, we like to showcase one of our partners. That partner is the people at Artura. Artura, we talk about them every day. They power the Bitcoin price action. These guys are building something awesome. They're core contributors. There's a bunch of group of people that are contributing to building this amazing leverage trading platform, and they're choosing Botonics to do it. They are going to be jumping on another chain very, very soon. But right now on Botonics, you're able to go over there and you're able to take leverage. There is a problem with the Botonics gas fee. You got to remember that chain is brand new, so if you do have problems, it's a Botonics thing. But when this is up and running, and it's very early days of it, it's going to be absolutely legendary. So without further ado, let's bring up the guys. Let's bring up Marion. Let's bring up Instant. Guys, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thanks so much for being here.
Jim, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. The markets are a little bit tricky right now, and we know that you guys are super busy, making sure that the platform is smooth and all that stuff for the user base and all that stuff. But before we get into that, as always, I'd like to do a little market talk. Last week, I felt like there was a little bit of confusion for a lot of the people that might be newbie traders and say, what's going on? This week might even be more intense with that. But Marian, I'm curious of your perspective. Are you still in the same mindset of, zoom out to the monthly chart, or are you starting to say, well, we might actually see like a strong retrace here?
Yeah, so let's look at the monthly chart. It's the same. But for example, let's go to the weekly chart. For now, I'm looking at the liquidity hunt on the previous week low to move higher from. So if that fails, then we will see much more retracement downwards. But this is our last hope for upside. So we need to see.
I don't like that talk coming from you.
Yeah, we need to see the sweep of previous week low if we get it. It's like at 112K.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you feel like our last line of defense is? 112K?
Yeah, we'll see if we respect or disrespect it.
Gotcha.
But it's inside of that weekly FEG. This is like as well the area we can move higher from because that fair value gap failed. But it's just a waiting game to see if we even reach out to that level. But just a waiting game. Just touch grass and don't do anything until then.
Do you feel like your confidence in kind of the way the August was going to play out is changed though, or you need that confirmation, and then after that confirmation, then you'll say, okay, my perception has changed?
I don't need to see that because like August is slow month, summer, loads of vacations for professionals as well. So it's usually like this in the summertime. But that huge manipulation that we had early in the month was due to NFP news. There was some bad data.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So monthly candle basically is gonna probably do open low high close type of scenario. So you need to have like the power of three. It's like accumulation, manipulation, and distribution of one candle. That's how the candle works. So if that plays out, it's like a textbook.
Yeah. So with August playing out this way to start off with, this could be a setup though that sucks in a lot of like shorts and bears, because we see Polymarket has an 82% prediction that rate cuts are going to happen in September. With the markets being forward looking, we could have kind of like this lazy slow start to August, and then in the middle kind of have that excitement forward looking type of situation, right? But what you're saying is the 112 mark is like we can't really hang out below that, because then that's going to invalidate everything I just said.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It all depends on the weekly close and how we react on that level.
Well, let's look at Ethereum though, because if you look at Ethereum, the monthly chart for Ethereum is completely different than the monthly chart for Bitcoin, right? Mm-hmm. So Bitcoin's monthly chart, when you look at it, and let me actually bring you back there because I was there a second ago. You can see that we had been in a lot of buy pressure for Bitcoin's monthly chart for a while, right? You're going back to, September 2023. And it's obviously, I think, a little bit, you can probably it seems a little misconstrued because like there's been definitely some downs with Bitcoin since September of 2023, but nevertheless, the MACD, the momentum indicator is showing that we haven't even gone into sell pressure since September of 2023. With Ethereum, we just got back to buy pressure, right? And we're challenging for the first time the 4,000. Could you see a scenario to where Ethereum is stronger and it goes up while Bitcoin possibly goes down?
Yeah, it is in the short term, like we talked previous weeks. It is much stronger. You can see that for on the weekly candle and weekly time frame, for example, how it's much more respecting the weekly FEG currently. It's rejecting off of that level, while the BTC is getting disrespected in this fair value gap. So, but can you go to the monthly back? You can see that we had a pretty tough scenario and period here because we created the bullish fair value gap, then it gets invalidated and disrespected. Then with that disrespect, we get the bearish one, and then we get the bullish one, then bearish one. It's just pure consolidation. We need to get the follow through off of one level to show us where we want to go.
But if it does make that strong move to the upside, it could be hyper aggressive though, right? Because because whenever you do accumulate like that after coming out after an extreme oversold first half of the year too, then we could accumulate and then have that overbought kind of second half of the year.
Yeah. Then like you marked three those stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of buy side liquidity resting where people's stop losses are. So that's what will like fuel the market to go up as well when we get aligned with it.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
I have a question for Marian. So I believe that markets are forward looking. I believe a lot of the stock guys, it's something they've been saying for a long time, right? I'm sure you think that way as well. When do we start to see the ETFs that are potentially going to get pushed in like October and stuff that's kind of getting bought up for that buy the rumor, sell the news situation going into the ETFs and stuff like that? Do you think that it's going to be like the first week of September you kind of start seeing these people start getting ready for that scenario?
I think, summer is going to end. Like poly markets are saying, Fed are going to cut the rates, which will be huge for BTC then. We're probably going to have insane run on the BTC, and then slowly BTC dominance will again start to fall down. And I think when they see that Fed cut the rates and they see the state of the market, they will like get the money inside the market. A risk-on scenario.
Do you think it's this upward trend is going to be caused from rate cuts, or do you think it could be caused from the ETFs? Do you think the ETFs could do it alone? I mean, we're talking Solana, Cardano, XRP. These could all go live in September, October.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, I'm just looking at the price section, so that will just fill the market up because the market is moving on its own. It will just give us like gas pedal to the floor.
Yeah. It'll just give us extra support, basically, if the technicals are, because there's two different types of strategies. There's the technical analysis, and what's the other one? It starts with the F. The fundamental analysis. The fundamental analysis is news, research, ETF possible, and we're not. That's without even talking about the SPACs and stuff. So I personally feel like this is a shake people out moment that we're going through. Try to shake people out a little bit out of their long positions, because some people are probably sitting pretty fat with Ethereum, probably took some longs at 1,800, 2,000, 2,200. Maybe some are holding them still. I don't know. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see. What is one token that you are kind of eyeing? You don't have to, obviously not financial advice or anything, but like in terms of like a good play, possibly, do you have any in mind?
I have one which I'm in. It's called Saros, SAROSU.
Okay.
It's like the most insane chart ever. Like whenever BTC dumps, it's just flying up. It's backed by Solana, I think, Solana Labs or something like that. And I think I have 2x in it currently, but I'm gonna hold it to $1 billion if we get it. And I have one small low cap. It's called Money, M0 and 3i. there's like dev that recently quitted his job and went full time into this project. So I hope to see one more run, like Griffin type run that I had last November. Like it was 266x.
Ooh, wee.
Oh my god.
My biggest play.
In a leverage position?
No, spot.
Oh, okay, spot. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I went into I was my entry was at 2.2 million and the position went to 660 million.
Oh my gosh.
God.
So
Congratulations.
Yeah.
that's a once in a cycle thing. And if you get
Exactly,
multiple, man, I'm gonna be following your every move. Like that's absolutely incredible. 100%. I want to jump over to Instant real quick. Instant, we had someone talk in the chat today about the blood moon or the bull moon and the bear moon. Do you know anybody who kind of trades off that, or are you interested in any of the astrology stuff?
Moon cycles for trading. I mean, it's a very interesting strategy. I unfortunately don't know nothing or anything about it. What about you guys?
Man, I was hoping you would be like, well, Saturn's moon is in the stratosphere, so they gotta go long.
Well, I think if the moon cycle data matches up with the technical analysis from like a large time frame, I'm in. So like basically, then I'm basing it off of the technical analysis, but it has to match up. I think.
I guess the first question is, does it produce results? What are the results on this? I shouldn't be so judgmental.
There's people, especially like Casey and Aaron from Ordinals, right? They basically, she is all about trading on these moon things, and it's been right a lot. And maybe I'm just catching the positive green stuff, and maybe not seeing the times that she's wrong. But I'm like, holy shit! Like, there's probably people who make tons of money trading this stuff because it's all about like emotions and stuff. Doesn't it affect like people's emotions?
That would be very funny if on Artura we put the moon, the different stages on the top.
Moon indicator, dude. Moon indicator. I'm copywriting that right now. Moon indicator. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, dude, that's crazy because like I don't know. I've heard her talk about it, and I almost feel like she's kind of in the middle of like a bearish season, and then she'll be like, the moon is telling me like in the next couple of months we will have bullish season. It's kind of like, well, we're in a bearish time right now.
I mean, I think that's like a 2,000-year-old prediction strategy, is checking out the stars, so it has some historical backing on there.
True.
That's true.
That's very true. Shizzy has a question for both of you, but I'm gonna let him save that to the end. Let's get into Artura a bit. How has the launch been? Obviously, you guys are on a new, a Bitcoin layer 2 in Botanics, which is a new technology. So they're also kind of going through a little bit of, making sure everything is smooth and all that stuff. But how has it been for you guys launching on Botanics, and what are you guys seeing? Like, what's the reaction so far?
Yeah, I think I think it's really interesting always launching on a new chain. I think things are coming along. They've done some changes in the back end, I think, to attract more investors. This has caused the fees to go up a little bit, but I think it's part of their whole flywheel to attract more TVL into the chain, to which increases yield, which increases users. So they have a whole flywheel going on. I think is just getting started, and they're here for the long haul as well. And so we're standing by them. We're also here for the long haul. We do have some pretty interesting stuff going on in terms of points programs and things going on there. But additionally, I think like we're finally wrapping up like our first phase of post mainnet launch, and I think we're about to make some very strategic moves very, very soon with some very big information to come out. I don't know if I want to talk about it too much here, but yeah, I think like we're really ramping up. We have some big news on the horizon.
Love it. I'm excited, but like I don't want to pry too much because I feel like you guys are holding that in a little bit because you want to make the announcement. We're not gonna make you do that right now. But what's one thing that you are like really excited about? We've talked about the future of Bitcoin fungibles being tradable on your platform, and then also these derivatives that are TradFi assets. Is there any that specifically get you more excited than the others?
Yeah, no, I think I think what we're really trying to do is just offer like a wide variety of assets. That is, the TradFi, that is the meme coins, the runes, as always. So those are on the horizon. You know, I think the goal at the end of the day is we're just going to be a perp dex that's completely unique. And, you know, on these chains that we're launching on, you know, Botanics is just the beginning. We do have plans to launch on more as well. Is that we're going to be the go-to place if you want to, you know, trade any of these assets. Like, you're going to have to go to Artura, you know, if you want to remain on Bitcoin, because there's going to be no other perp dex that's doing it like us. And as, you know, Bitcoin DeFi continues to grow, you know, so are we.
Yeah, 100%. And you guys are a lot different than a lot of these other projects out there. You guys are really taking the voice of the community and really kind of putting it into your project here. What are some of those responses and some of the potential changes that might be happening that is kind of being pushed by the community?
Yeah, I think the number one thing we always hear is you know, more assets, which was always in like our ethos, is to deliver like these assets. So that's the number one thing. You know, I think like I think another option is just to have you know, I think just like some big, like more community events that we're trying to work on as well. I think everybody loves, you know, trading competitions and some sort of like you know, some fun events for the community to rally behind. You know, some quests and some campaigns. These are all coming out, of course. But I mean, for the most part, you know, when we launched the project, we, you know, interviewed, you know, like dozens of traders who, you know, were, you know, doing like, you know, big numbers on other dexes and asked them like point blank, like, what do they want on a dex? And we're trying to incorporate all of that currently. And it's just a matter of optimization and making this, you know, the best platform to trade on right now.
Love it, man. Absolutely great answer. I'm actually excited for that as well. I would love to get some dog, and maybe you heard about Lobo getting listed on Kraken. Is that kind of push you guys to maybe one day list something like some more runes?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, always taking community feedback into account. You know, that's, you know, if you want to be a successful perp dex, you have to give people, you know, the option to trade, you know, whatever's hot and what they want to trade. So that's definitely on the roster.
And that's huge for you guys too, because having Lobo on something like MEXC isn't like having it from Kraken, right? Because that's something you guys kind of will take maybe the API to kind of put in, right? So you guys are getting that type of price action when you're trading.
An aggregate from, you know,
Okay.
the same that all the exchanges get.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it does give confidence, I think, is what you're looking for, Shizzy, to the on-chain perps dexes and stuff, is because you know, when there's volatility with brand new tokens, it's really hard to bring them on, right? Obviously, you want the liquidity and stuff, but you'll get more liquidity if it's a more of an established token. And I think that's where it can come into play with like Artura, because, you know, Artura is, you know, the Bitcoin ecosystem perps and leverage platform, right? So just naturally people are going to be like, oh, I can trade runes there, but this gives them more confidence to be able to list it, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong with that.
No, yeah, it's exactly.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. All right. So I'm
Here it
thinking
is.
about doing something, right?
There it
So
is.
I'm thinking about launching us as OnChain Revolution, thinking about launching a front facing meme coin on Bonk.fun. And I have some great lore. I'm going to put this in the chat, but please do not say this on air or anything like that. But this is kind of the lore. I found this and I was like just blown away by it, that nobody has made a meme coin about this yet. And I kind of want to do that, but front facing, where we're gonna buy like 5 Solana worth of the token. Never ever sell that token. We're gonna push this, right, and potentially, you know, do something cool with the creator fees and stuff like that for the community and stuff like that. But you know, I've been thinking about launching a meme coin. I was wondering if you guys, I would love to hear your opinion on that. Feel free to say, Shizzy, don't do it to yourself, or feel free to say, you know, I don't know. I'm just curious. We got
Yeah.
New adventure, I will support. Yeah.
He said, "Do it."
Yeah, new adventure. Why not?
So you're like, do it. I'm gonna do a 24-hour live stream if I launch it. Like,
Yeah,
I just go live and
he's gonna do a bunch of crazy stuff, like eat like rotten stuff, so people will buy it. No, I'm just kidding. All right, instant.
But if you do that, the coin will pump.
Yeah, Shizzy, you got to do it, man. No, instant. Curious from your perspective as well, because you guys could have different perspectives here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you should. I think as long as, like, you know, everything's pretty transparent, you know, there's no problem with it. It's, you know, it's a meme coin. It's part of the space.
Live on the show too.
Yeah, like, there's some really strong lore connected to it. and it has to do with the ecosystem itself. And I just think that like it will do very well if people receive it. But you guys are the second like professional group of people, because we talked to Jeff, the founder of Merlin Chain, yesterday, and he said go do it. Which, dude, these answers are the opposite of what I thought they would say. I thought they would be like, don't do it, Susie, don't do it. And oh man, we're still talking about it. But we got people in the chat that are like, when are we gonna launch this now?
Yeah, 100%. But do you guys like the lore? Obviously, don't say it, but I put it in the private.
They probably need a little time to look it over.
Yeah,
It just takes 10 seconds. I put it in the private.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But,
I actually need to do. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I think this is fun. I think if it's fun and if it's transparent, like, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Yeah, I'd say do it. Go ahead.
And if the demand is like big enough, that's something that maybe one day could be on Artura. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, no, true. Exactly. That's what we're here for. The hottest assets on Bitcoin.
Awesome.
What'd you say, Marion?
It's a good ticker as well. I like it.
I like it too,
dude, you guys are creating like all this bubble. We got like more people in the live stream now. We have a 723 now. But don't expect this thing to be launched like in the next 2 seconds, guys. This is just discussion.
I'm gonna take my time with it, spend like a week with it, really kind of plan it out, maybe 2 weeks with it, maybe launch it when Ethereum passes 4,000.
Yeah, you gotta make sure market conditions are right. But yeah, man, that's awesome. To be able to have this conversation out in the public is really cool, and I feel like that times have changed and it's been proven, and plus like everybody knows us, the on-chain revolution and stuff like that. So I think it'll be fine, right? I do feel more confident after going for 2 for 2. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But this has been absolutely awesome, guys. We'd love to give you guys a stage one last time. If there's anything you guys left out, anything you want to hit on, feel free. This time is yours. We'll start with you instant.
Yeah, just we just went to mainnet not too long ago, and we have such big plans that are coming. I can't talk about. I think this month is going to be absolutely insane for Artura. I know I say that every month, but I really mean it. If you are not paying attention, you're going to be left behind.
Love it. love it. Yeah, man. You guys, and 100%. And I want all you guys to go over to Artura. They have a leaderboard. Do one trade. Get on that leaderboard. I'm telling you. I know these guys don't want to say it, but I'm telling you want to be on that leaderboard. Do whatever you can to be on that leaderboard. And the higher you are, the more benefit you're going to get. 100% instant.
Definitely.
Awesome. Marion, final words, buddy.
Yeah, so I would suggest guys to join our Discord because we have some good community games as well, and you can earn some rewards, so don't miss out on that as well.
Love it,
guys. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate your time, and you guys get to the core contributors every single week to join the show. These guys are front facing 100%. And just want to thank you guys one last time.
Thank you. Peace.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week. Appreciate it.
Absolutely awesome as always. But we have a few more topics, right?
Yeah. Well, one more that I want to get into, and I kind of teased it a little bit in terms of the token, and most of you guys probably already know this, but the most hated rally probably is going to be coming. I'm not super excited, but like I said, I do like taking advantage of opportunities, but I compare it to a little bit to Solana, when Solana got beat up, right? After the FTX debacle, they had a lot of involvement with FTX. Everybody wrote it off, said it was dead. Ethereum, and I'm curious, you guys can put your guesses in the chat. Ethereum, this past year and a half, people were saying RIP Ethereum. You had Sui that promised, or not promised, but hinted at an airdrop, but then came out and said that they weren't going to do the airdrop. Everybody was pissed, including yourself. And so the token that I'm talking about is, unfortunately, it's Pump from Pump Fund, right? So could Pump have the most hated rally of this cycle? There's rumors that they are adding SDK to their platforms to where they can white glove these, or white label these platforms to make fees for them and all these things, and they're doing 100% buyback with their platform fees right now, so of the token. So I'm curious, do you think that they will have the most hated rally of the cycle, or what's your opinion about this topic?
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be the most hated, because I like Pump Fund. Like, I have nothing against them, right? A lot of people do, like the way they suck money out of the ecosystem. Hey, if you built the #1 casino and everyone's using your casino, there's no you win, right? I just don't understand the hate on something like this. And for me, I like what Bonk Fund came in, and now they're giving you 1% creator fees for launching a token there, and that's what we need, right? If you don't like something, build a competitor that defeats it, because if you don't like it, many other people don't. I don't think it's going to be the most hated rally. I think that this is going to be something that, you know, there's a lot of VCs behind, including Peter Thiel. I think Pump Fund's going to be something that's going to be here for a long time, whether it's the launchpad or the next thing. I think they're going to keep innovating. So, you know, you got to remember, Amazon started as a bookstore and then end up being the everything company. I think Pump Fund could do something similar to where they started as a launchpad and then end up being something bigger than that. So I don't see it as the most hated, to answer your question, but I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for Elon. I'm rooting for these guys.
Yeah, I say that it you know, is the most hated rally because of the fact that they didn't start thinking about giving back to their community until their competitors came in and started whooping their butt.
Well, that's what
You know,
normally happens, though, right? This
yeah,
is
but
Web 2.
it's I don't think so. I think that there's projects that come out of the gate that give back. You know, Hyperliquid started with this mindset of buying back
Yeah.
with their fees, and it made their token holders, you know, a lot of money. And then, yeah, I see the comment here. It says Crypto Banter was talking about it. Yagobi. Yeah, exactly. I was actually watching Rand earlier, and so it made me honestly think about. Yeah, I took a position. I did. I'm going to be honest. I took a position because Shizzy and I have been talking about this anyways for the past couple of weeks. I said, as much as I hate Pump, I feel like there's a rally coming, and both of us had this silent feeling about it, and we both said it to each other in pre-show preps. But the thing is that I don't like him because of them, not him, because I don't take anything personal with people in the space, but I don't like Pump Fund as an entity because they waited until their competitors did all these things. And it's like when you have all the riches and you're just kind of like, okay, all these peasants are making me rich, and like I don't need to give them anything because they're peasants and I'm rich. And then the competition comes in. You're like, oh, wait a second, we're gonna copy them. Now we're gonna do creator fees. Oh, wait a second, like they can't even announce that they're gonna do an airdrop yet. They still haven't. Eventually, it came out. I think he was like, eventually it's gonna happen. But now they're doing 100% buyback. So it's like they were forced to do this. But the most hated rallies, the most thing that you think is going to do something and gets beat up the most, the opposite happens typically. So
yeah, 100%. And you have to remember too, I said it earlier with Magic Eden, there's not a lot of companies in this space who actually make money, right? Magic Eden is one of them, OpenSea is one of them, you know, Pump.fun is one of them, right? They're like, you know, you do have decentralized exchanges and stuff like that, but different beasts, they're not on-chain. There's not a lot of on-chain products, especially right now, that are making money. So for me, I'm waiting and seeing. I'm not. I won't take a position. I'm not not. It's not my game, right? But like, I want to see them. I want to see what they can do. They have a huge treasure chest of assets that they can use right now.
$2 billion
to build. I mean, they can build anything they want in the space, and who knows if they're not. This token, they might put out an NFT platform, a DeFi platform. They might have a whole sector of stuff, and this Pump token is going to be leading it all. I don't know, man. I think that this could be the beginning of an Amazon type of company.
Well, I don't know, man. The leadership is important in my opinion, but we'll see.
You got Peter Thiel on your board, bro. You got Peter Thiel on your board.
But there was a good statement here. It said Peter Thiel is a WEF puppet. So he might have been, but also I think he's a capitalist opportunist. So he could have, like, you know, was doing that because he was making. That's how he got billions of dollars, right? And I think some of these people that were working, all of them were. All the tech companies, the Zuckerbergs, everybody was like working with globalists. Let's not get it twisted. But they see a financial system switch happening, and they, believe me, they're going to take advantage of the opportunity. So Thiel's probably taking advantage of the crypto opportunity, while the WEF foundation's never going to. They're very stubborn. They hate it. But him as an opportunist and a capitalist, he's already taken advantage. He's investing in all these things. But look, you can see right here, it looks like possibly this could be the bottom here, right? This area right here could have been the bottom. You saw the price kind of get to 0.00227. Now it looks like we could be starting that upward trajectory. This is the daily chart here for pump. So, I mean, this could be where the rally starts, you know, and then we could, like, if we do have an alt season with these ETFs and the money backing them with $2 billion, if they can't make this token pump past their all-time high and they have $2 billion war chest, they have all these Peter Thiels, all these other billionaires that are backing this, then they were in it just to extract completely.
I think we're one announcement away from $5 billion market cap. TVL. I'm total. I'm not TVL. FDV. Fully diluted value. I think that's 0.005. I think we're one announcement away from that, and I think it comes when the timing's right. You got to remember, why pump now? Why pump now? Right?
Yeah,
There's no
that's true too. That's true, but you get to probably maybe get a little started now. This seems like what they're doing, just the foundation, the bottom.
You got to remember too, this could be a higher low. Maybe some of the investors want it cheaper, right? Maybe because I think it could be a higher low in the sense of this would be a good time to do the airdrop. Just get it out the way, and then you can start buying it in, right? Buying it up.
Yeah, we could see something like that. But man, what a great show out today. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. I think it's gonna wrap up the show. We appreciate all 758 of you guys. You guys are awesome. That is so awesome that you guys show up for us, man. Without you guys, we couldn't do this. We greatly appreciate it. Also, without our partners, we couldn't do this. And so if you could check out our partners, we would greatly appreciate that as well. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator swap for the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to swap for runes or alkanes and possibly BRC20 2.0 in the future, you got to do it at Sats Terminal. Right now, they support runes and alkanes. So if you do it, you're going to earn Amber points. What are Amber points? Amber points are an XP point system that are going to go towards a give back to early adopters of their platform. It's not going to be around forever. If you connect your wallet for the first time, you get 1,000 Amber points. Tomorrow, we will have a couple members of their team on with us for the Wednesday segment at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you check that out. Also, go to their site, just use it. And you're going to be able to buy the cheapest runes, the most liquid runes at Runes Terminal. Sats Terminal. Runes and alkanes at satsterminal.com. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer tooling for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to jump your ordinals from Bitcoin layer 1 to Ethereum. You can take out a loan against your Taproot Wizard on Gandhi. They're supporting the Taproot Wizard collection right now. They're probably going to open up for more. You can take Rare Pepes and counterparty BTC NFTs over. And eventually they're going to open this up for other chains other than Ethereum, like Arbitrum, Base, possibly Merlin. Solana is definitely one that they're going to be working on. And speaking of Solana, they have an amazing, probably top 3 to 5 AI product, maybe top 2 AI product in the entire space, an AI Agent Hustle. He is the talk of the town in the Solana environment and community there. Right now, you can use Agent Hustle to, get research, do DeFi functions for you. You can actually do conditional trading with Hustle, set a trade, say, hey, buy Fart Coin when it pulls back 20%, sell it whenever I make an 80% profit. You can go to the gym and they'll be executed for you on your behalf. So use them right now because it's free, but very soon they're going to roll the Hustle token into the platform. So there's going to be a subscription service with that. And don't forget, they also have a Bitcoin Rune that's going to be having a TGE once Bitcoin gets to block 915,000. You can purchase the NFT in a pre-sale right now on OpenSea if you search Emblem Founder Vault Keys. You buy the NFT. Once the block 915,000 comes on Bitcoin, it's going to open the vault and you'll have Bitcoin wallet in there with your Bitcoin runes, Emblem Founder Vault runes. It's going to be the parent token for this parent company that has multiple businesses underneath it. So super exciting stuff. Head over to emblem.vision today to learn more. And then Artura.finance. We just talked to these guys, so I'm going to hit on this pretty quick. But Artura.finance is the personal leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Soon you're going to be able to trade Bitcoin fungible synthetic tokens on their platform. Doggo to the Moon, $1 billion cat, Lobo the Wolf Pup, already Sats possibly, some alkanes that gets really hot and popular. And then also you have your traditional tokens, XRP, Tau, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. All those are going to be there. And there's going to be derivatives of TradFi stocks like MicroStrategy, Coinbase, stuff like that. So really exciting stuff. You can earn XP right now for future, give back to early adopters as well. Make sure you're, messing with the platform. You can double dip by getting XP for the Artura site and Botanics as they're tracking usage on their chain as well. Head over to Artura.finance today. And then Fluid Tokens is the UTXO wizard devs of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They started on Cardano and they built the Aquarium platform on Cardano. So if you want to add Babel, or if you want to add liquidity, I should say, to the Aquarium platform, because the way it works is you don't have to use ADA for gas on Cardano. You can use other approved tokens like FLDT, which is the Fluid token. If you add the liquidity, when people trade on there using your liquidity, then you will earn Babel fees. So it's a great way to earn for you guys. And then also you can set up reoccurring scheduled payments for ADA. If you pay your dev team or just your team in general in ADA, you can set it up to be reoccurring. Really exciting stuff on that side. On the Bitcoin side, the first to offer retail staking vaults to Bitcoin Layer 1 users. Right now you can stake DOG, go to the moon to earn alkanes, the diesel token, or you can stake some alkanes to earn other alkanes and runes to earn other runes. It's really exciting. You can do that all at fluidtokens.com. There's an airdrop tool as well. You can airdrop runes or alkanes to your community. Head over to fluidtokens.com and click on airdrop there. And then Tokyo Wallet is the multi-chain smart wallet of the Bitcoin and Cardano ecosystem, soon to have support for SUI as well. On the Bitcoin side, you can actually trade for Bitcoin runes. As they partnered with SAS Terminal to make that possible. On the Cardano side, you can trade for Cardano tokens, and they partner with Dex Hunter to make that possible. And soon you'll be able to trade for SUI tokens as well. If you have an iPhone, you head over to the Apple App Store. If you have an Android, head over to the Google Play Store. Download the application. Let us know your feedback. You can actually find us on the app because there's a little alpha section with YouTubers on there. You can find OnChain Revolution, Cryptos Are Us with George, and many other. It's a one-stop shop, guys. Make sure that you are checking out Tokyo.io and learn more there. And then Merlin Chain is uniting Bitcoin strength with the power of AI. They have their Wizard 0.3 version out right now, but 0.4 is right around the corner. And 0.3, you can actually do DeFi functionality right now. You can have the Wizard do swaps for you, stake, and then a 0.4, which should be coming out, I would say, probably next week, early as next week. You're going to be able to do cross-chain swaps with Merlin Chain Bitcoin. And so it's going to be really exciting. You can swap for Solana tokens, for BNB tokens. It's game changing, guys. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. Also, they have staking options for their proof of stake to help secure the chain. There's 3 options. You can stake Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin, and you earn an average of 16% on average there. It does lock up until September 30th. So just know that. And then there's 2 options for the Merlin Chain token. The first one is the flexible day-to-day. It does take 7 days if you withdraw it. Just know that there's a cooldown period for that. But you earn 15% APR. You can actually claim your rewards daily for the Merlin Chain token and use that as a compound interest strategy. And then they have a 6-month program called the Bonded program for staking Merlin Chain token, and you earn 45% APR, and you can claim that as well and kind of do the compound interest strategy as well. With that, head over to merlinchain.io for the latest updates as well. And lastly is our partner Ordinal Hive, which is an aggregator ordinal marketplace. These guys are crushing it. You can actually get your liquidity right away if you sell an ordinal, as opposed to waiting 10 minutes or 50 minutes on Magic Eden. So they give you liquidity instantly when you make a sell. Also, they have amazing trader tools like live mempool insights to see if something was mispriced. You can try to catch it really quick. Also, they have an XP system as well, so you can earn points. That's going to be a future give back to early adopters as well. Head over to ordinalhive.io to learn more about them. And thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. If you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out onchainrevolution.io, it's one of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where you are today. Brand new article just dropped, Lobo, the Wolf Pup, Bitcoin Rune. Guys, go check that out. So all these articles, guys, we post every week. It tells you exactly what was going on, that major the thing that was happening that week. So if all you have to do is go back and read article to article all the way back to 2023, you guys can really get a grasp of what's going on. If you feel like you just don't know what's going on, you don't have the time, these articles are like a few minute read, and you can read them one by one and figure out what exactly was happening during that week in that time. It's perfect for someone new. If you do know someone new, please send them this website, guys. It will help them a lot. And we got that NordVPN, guys. Everyone should have a VPN. Every single person should you have a VPN. What VPN does, it blocks your IP address, right? If you go to sites, you're actually giving them your IP address. That IP address could lead them to your personal address. You don't want that. I don't want that. Stay private. There's no reason for us Bitcoiners to be giving away our public information. Stupid. Use a VPN. Use Nord. 70% off, guys. If you go to it, lock it in for 2 years. It's $3.39. If you lock it in for 3 months, I think that's still fine. It'll be still about $10. But you can lock it in for those 3 months for $10. But what happens is, when you come back to renew it, you're gonna be paying that $11 again. Lock it in for 2 years, set it, forget it. See you guys later. $66. See you in 2 years. 2 years, you're like, oh yeah, I need that VPN. Come back, you probably can use our code again. So definitely do that, guys. 74% off. Get a VPN. Use Nord. Use our link. 100%. Don't go to nordvpn.com. They're going to overcharge you. And then we have that store. We have hats, shirts, jackets, so much more, guys. Send your kids back to school with the OnChain Revolution school bag and so much more, guys. Check everything out at onchainrevolution.io. And guys, remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.